All right, let's take another look at a different function and the transformations that we can that it can undergo. So here is again just a very basic function f of x, which I'm going to trace over here for the purposes of transforming. So there is no naturally occurring function that necessarily looks like this. Okay. But they want you to be able to see, okay, if f of x, I've traced it in green. If f of x is this green graph here, right? And then g of x, a different function, changes f of x according to this, then we've transformed the graph. And we're looking to answer three questions. Okay, where are the operations in this transformation? What are the operations in this transformation? And what are their values? Like how much? Okay, so when you look at this function g of x is a function that, and for lack of a better word, that does this and this to f of x. Okay, so there are two new numbers in this function that weren't over here, right? The +1 and the -4. All right, so let's address each one of these separately. First of all, where are these operations occurring? This +1, we would say, is inside the parentheses. And if you go back to a previous video or your notes, you know that anything that happens inside parentheses is a horizontal transformation. Okay? Now, what operation? So we know that this, okay, I'm going to abbreviate. We know that this is horizontal. Okay? What operation is it? This is addition. So only one operation, only one transformation involves addition and subtraction, and it's this shift. So we know that based on where the +1 is and the fact that it is addition, we know it's a horizontal shift. Okay, so now we know this is a horizontal shift. The last thing we need to know is what is the value. Remember that anything that happens inside parentheses, any inside operation, is opposite. So even though this says +1, this graph is going to horizontally shift to the left. All horizontal operations are the opposite of what we see here. So even though this is a +1, we move our graph to the left. Okay? Let's look at this operation. Where is it? It's outside the parentheses, so we know this is a vertical transformation. Right? What operation is it? It's subtraction. Again, subtraction is a shift, just like addition is a shift. And the value, because it's outside the parentheses, and that means it's vertical, we can move this according to this operation. So because it's subtraction, we know we're going to go down 4 units with this graph. All right? Now, when it comes time to actually move this, follow the order of operations. Do what's inside the parentheses first, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses first. So we're going to take what's inside the parentheses. We're going to horizontally shift everything in this graph 1 unit to the right. And I'm glad that it kind of broke up this way, right? So now we've shifted everything 1 unit to the left. And then everything is going to shift 4 units down. So the way that I've drawn this, okay, let's do this a different way. How about this? So we've moved everything 1 unit to the left. Let's move everything 4 units down. So we're going to move this point to here, right? We're going to move this point from, it was at -3. We're going to move it down to -7. That would be 4 units down. This has a y coordinate of 0. We're going to move it down to -4. This is at +3. We're going to move it down 4 units. It's going to be at -1. And this is at 0. We're going to move it down to -4. So here is our final transformed function right there. Okay. And again, we could have got that by grabbing the whole graph, okay, and shifting everything 1 unit to the left and 4 units down. Grab this, 1 unit to the left, 4 units down. All right? So we're moving the points, not the graph. Keep that in mind when you're trying to do this on your own.